I believed I was.
I could feel a presence.
There's something in this house.
I was terrified.
What you're about to watch is based on true events. Some details have been altered to protect confidentiality.
My name is Bobby, and I work the night shift.
Bobby lands her ideal job at a doctor's home from the 1800s. Now, a museum.
My position at the museum was director, which enabled me to have full access to the premises. As director, I worked all hours of the day, but the evening shift that I worked would have been 4 p.m. through 2 a.m. I have a true love for the house. My family is very connected to it. For many years, my grandmother worked there. She was actually delivered by Christopher Best, and many of her children were delivered by his son, Duncan.
She works at night in an old house filled with generations of doctors' preserved memorabilia. Some carry the scent of the dead.
The house was always a little creepy, especially in the evenings. You have to remember this is a house built in the 1800s. The light switches are almost always on the other side of the room than you're walking into, so you're walking through the dark. When I started at the museum, there were no rumors of ghosts, there were no whispers of any sort of paranormal activity. It had just been a house that the doctor had lived in. I was a true non-believer, but I've had flashlights go off on me while I'm trying to walk through the room and they just decide to shut off.
At night, Bobby's duties are to photograph and catalog the items. Only a few nights on the job, and the atmosphere in the parlor changes.
I couldn't really put my finger on what it was, almost like a breeze, like a wind, some sort of movement. It was if somebody had just walked into the room. It was like a wash over you, and you could just smell the perfume. I turned, and I just saw something very quick out of the corner of my eye move. It had a form. I couldn't tell you what it was, and by the time I tried to focus on it, it was gone. But I said to myself, I was not gonna let a little apparition scare me away.
Undaunted, Bobby continues that night with her coworker to set up for an upcoming public talk.
This talk got some buzz. Hope we have enough chairs.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great one.
I had heard footsteps above me, and they kept growing louder and louder.
No one's here, right?
No one.
I'll check.
Be careful.
The footsteps were clear as day. There's absolutely no denying it sounded like somebody was just walking forcefully through the house, as if in a march almost. The staircase in the front parlor had been roped off. It sounded just like somebody upstairs.
Bobby follows the footsteps to a part of the museum close to the public.
The footsteps just stopped when I opened the door. I felt a heaviness in that area of the house. It was drawing me around the room. And that feeling of somebody watching you.
When Bobby opens the trunk, she unleashes a darker energy.
Inside were some articles of clothing. In particular was a small suit. Would have been what you'd wear on a Sunday. That was when I really noticed just the heaviness in the room, just the sorrow in the room. I feel maybe like I've crossed a line with that. I can't even explain it any other way. I immediately let go of the suit.
You crazy man. Stop.
But it's too late.
It's as if in that corner, in my mind's eye, I can see a little boy kind of squatting in that corner.
Leave my stuff alone! Alone! Alone!
Is the salmon wild caught?
She only eats wild caught.
I need a price check on honey.
Don't get mad, get E-Trade and get more than just trading. Investing, banking, guidance.
Yeah, I think we're good here. Why do we offer so many active safety features on our Chevy SUVs? Oh, yeah. All set.
Ready, Freddie?
Because we're not just engineers.
Promise when you get there, okay? Slowly. I'm going slow.
We have families, too.
Get 15% of MSRP cash back on most 2020 Equinox models. That's over $5,700 cash back on this Equinox. Plus, current competitive owners get an additional $750 cash allowance. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
September is National Family Meals Month. Family meals have always been a great, healthy habit. They keep us connected and are the foundation for a healthy nation. Enjoy a meal with your family this week and stay strong with family meals.
Though Bobby loves her job as a museum director, her skepticism about it being haunted is being challenged by coming face to face with a terrifying spirit.
When I saw that apparition, I had kind of focused on it. It was immediately gone.
Bobby knows without a doubt who is haunting her and that room.
It was the little boy's room. James was the first son of the doctor. He had passed away in the house. It took 2 weeks for that little boy to die. Tragically, very sad situation.
James died as a young child of undulated fever, a disease causing a painful death.
I don't know if that was the suit that he was laid out in. It very easily could have been what he was wearing for that.
Spirits are very possessive, and if we handle or disturb what was once theirs, it can generate a lot of activity. These are very clear examples of spirits saying, "Don't touch my stuff." There are many reports of paranormal activity being generated when the belongings of a former owner were disturbed or handled.
I want to be respectful, and the suit is still on the bed to this day. It took a moment for me to just kind of reset myself and carried on with my job. Just kind of put it in the back of my head and pretended it didn't happen and continued that evening.
Bobby? Yeah. You okay? What was up there?
Oh, it was no one. I must have been hearing things.
I'm a deny kind of person, but that was the first instance that I had to deny.
We have a lot to do to get ready for tomorrow.
Yeah. I'll get to it. Continue over here.
I'm just gonna go get some stuff from the shed out back.
Okay.
Bobby distracts herself by preparing for the lecture.
I love my job. It was more of a suck it up, you know? It's a great place.
She prepares to catalog the perfume bottles.
You opened it up after what happened?
The perfume was a little bit too tempting not to open. A kid, you have your grandma's perfume in front of you, and you just, you know, you want to smell. So I justified opening the perfume with that. It was such a light and pretty scent. I believe it was violet. And I immediately noticed it as the perfume that we had smelled earlier that evening. And then the smell was everywhere.
Do you smell that?
Yeah, perfume. Yours?
No.
It was like somebody had squirted perfume and walked into it. And then, gosh, we had heard the faint sound of a piano playing.
This is too weird.
I'm right behind you. I'm gonna lock up.
But before Bobby can make it out,
Her perfume had kind of come into the room noticeably. It was like a wash over you. There was a presence. I could feel a presence.
and suddenly, the Victrola comes to life.
It had to have been levitated off the ground probably 6 inches while playing. And just dropped. It was like a person picked it up and just dropped it. It was so real.
Leave our things alone.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
I think Bobby's experiencing a mixture of both residual hauntings, trace memories, trace elements of things that happened a long time ago, but also an intelligent haunting. It can be common for a house to be haunted by an entire family, an entire generation, even though they may have died at different times. It's simply their home, the only home they've ever known. They want to be there, and they plan to remain there.
I do believe it's the family. I don't believe they mean people any harm. I think that maybe I just happen to be connected in a way that they're familiar with. Maybe they were trying to make contact in a friendly way, but it's just scary as hell.
After seeing the apparition clearly, Bobby believes she knows who it is.
There was a very clear outline of a shadowy figure. I believe this to be Emma. Emma is Christopher Best's daughter, and she lived in the home until she was in her 80s. She was actually the last person to live in that house. Emma taught piano lessons out of the house. 2 of my aunts took piano lessons from Emma. The eerie part was, when I looked at that photo, I realized that that was where I had been standing when the Victrola decided to jump off the floor or fall to the floor, whatever it did. I'm surprised I lasted as long as I did.
My name is Jim, and I work the night shift.
"45-year-old Jim starts his first night shift as a care support worker at a residence for intellectually disabled adults.
When I first got the job, I was excited because we did need extra money to help, supplement our incomes. My wife worked full-time, I worked full-time, but we needed extra income.
Around the corner here is the basement.
The day staff have gone, and Jim finds his duties are shared with just one coworker.
Who's that?
Oh, that's one of the former owners of the place. This is where the residents sleep.
Together, they'll work long into the night, standing watch over the house and its sleeping residents.
Why are all the doors open?
The residents feel safer with them open.
The gentlemen that live there, they like their doors open. They don't like to have their doors closed. It reassures them a little bit that they know somebody's there to help them and protect them.
After the residence floor, the next stop is the basement.
She shared that the basement, where the laundry room is located, kind of freaked her out. I told her that I would go down and bring up the first load of laundry.
But his coworker won't go.
When you go down the stairs in the basement, they creak a little bit. It's an old home. It was built about 1843.
But the feeling Jim gets being down there can't be explained.
Just get this weird feeling. I had a feeling of unease. You can feel the hair on the back of your neck stand up, and it just kind of freaks you out a little bit. The water pitcher flew right off the shelf. Dropped the laundry basket, and I stared at it, which felt like forever. I would love to have shared with my coworker, but she would have been incredibly terrified, and I know she would have left.
Jim keeps silent and gets back to watching the residents, settling in for a long night ahead.
I shut the lights off in the hallway, and I had 2 little night lights that were plugged in, so it just had very dim lighting, so not to wake the gentleman up that lived there. As I was sitting there, I kept thinking I could see something out of the corner of my eye. And I'd had this feeling like a little bit of a cold sensation. I looked again when I saw it, and I saw this black. It was out, I'd liken it to like a cloud, which was outside the bedroom at the end of the hallway. And then in a blink of an eye, it was gone. It just like, it didn't go through anything. It just disappeared right where it was. I couldn't believe it. You see stuff like that on TV, and you think, oh, that's not a big deal until you actually witness this for yourself. You have all these thoughts going through your mind of like disbelief. Oh, and you're just trying to figure out what is it and where did he go? And then I was thinking, I gotta go down to the bedroom. I gotta just check on that guy. I peeked in, he was sleeping soundly.
What's wrong?
Something just grabbed my hair.
My shift partner, she said it felt like somebody had pulled the back of her hair.
All right. I'll go check, okay?
Her eyes were huge, and her hands were shaking. I knew right away things were happening in that house, but I wasn't really sure why they were happening.
Into the basement again to make sure there is no intruder.
My senses, I'm very heightened to everything that's around. Going down, and you can hear your feet hitting the steps, each one. You can count the squeaks of them going down. I get to the bottom.
No one is there, but he double checks the locks anyway.
So when I was down in the basement and I was bringing a load of laundry to fold, I had this sense that I was being watched.
Did you see anything?
No, there's nothing down there.
This is cold comfort for Jim's distraught coworker. He stays by her side, but it's not long before new disturbances come from above.
There's something in this house.
The only thing that makes T-Mobile's new offer on iPhone better is the people you share it with. So right now, switch and get 2 new lines of unlimited for only $90 and get 2 iPhone 11s or 2 iPhone 11 Pros on us. All on T-Mobile's most powerful signal that goes farther than ever before. Hurry into T-Mobile now and get 2 iPhone 11s or 2 iPhone 11 Pros on us. Only at T-Mobile.
This selenite gray is so pretty, isn't it?
Wow. Jim, could you pop the hood for us?
There she is.
Turbocharged, right?
Yes, it is.
Jim, could you kick the tires?
Why?
Why?
We're buying a car. It's what you do.
Oh, yes.
Jim, could you change the color inside the car?
Oh, sure. How about blue?
That's more cyan, but jump in the back seat, Jim. Act like my kids.
How much longer?
Exactly how they sound. Wait, it's got massaging seats too, right?
Oh.
Shop from home or in person to learn more about the Mercedes-Benz sedan family, starting at just $33,650.
Is the salmon wild caught?
She only eats wild caught.
I need a price check on honey.
Don't get mad. Get E-Trade and get more than just trading. Investing, banking, guidance.
Jim's first night working at a resident home begins with strange occurrences and a spooked coworker.
Something just grabbed my hair.
And now, noises from what should be an empty attic.
Did you hear that? Do you see what I'm talking about?
I heard noises in the attic, which is just right above the second floor where I'm sitting. It was like a rhythmic pattern of like when a child is skipping. And there's a door that leads up to the third floor. As soon as I opened the door, the noise stopped.
Hello? Hello? There's nothing there.
You didn't see anything?
I'm just kind of thinking to myself, you know, old homes have a lot of personality. They make strange noises sometimes. It could be the heating.
But Jim's coworker isn't buying it.
I have to go. I'm done. I'm sorry.
She quits, leaving Jim to complete his night shift watching over the house. Alone.
You didn't go?
No. I definitely couldn't leave. I'm responsible for them being safe and taken care of. And I wasn't willing to not do that.
Jim is left with the laundry to finish, so he heads back down to the basement.
I open the basement door. I look down the stairs, and it's almost like you're looking like at the longest walk of your life. So as I'm getting the laundry out, and I just had this constant feeling of being watched, there is a clothesline rope that goes from one part of the foundation to the other, and then they had a tarp over that for a little bit of a breakup in the basement. For some reason, I decided I was going to walk over to the tarp and look behind it.
And Jim is face to face with a male entity. He makes a run for it. After the encounter, Jim shakily returns to his second floor watch.
I was terrified. I felt like I was having like anxiety. And I just started like getting a little bit of the sweats too.
But Jim has no chance to calm his anxieties. It's now upstairs with him.
There was a human-like mass that was inside the doorway of the room. My legs started to shake, almost like if you feel like hypothermic, almost. And the figure just kind of like floated straight back into the room until I couldn't see it anymore. I just couldn't believe any of this was really honestly happening. I had to muster up enough courage to go down and look inside the room for the safety and well-being of them guys. I just took one step at a time. My heart was racing so fast.
Nothing prepares Jim for what awaits behind the door.
No! It's hard to really explain if you've never seen anything like that before.
Just stay back! Stay back!
I didn't know what I was seeing.
Get away from me!
And then the entity vanishes.
Like my heart rate was just pounding.
So you couldn't leave?
I know I couldn't leave because I'm responsible for these guys while I'm on shift.
But it's not gone. It's changed form.
almost hear like a guttural sound that it was making, as though it might have been like gasping for a breath over and over until it disappeared. I have no idea what it could have done if I would have gotten any closer to it.
Jim assumes that the dark, shadowy mist that he encounters in the doorway to the residence room is evil, that it means him harm. That may be the case. There are some who believe that dark in appearance means dark in nature. But other cultures believe that dark and shadowy figures are the opposite, that they are good, that these are the spirits of our loved ones who are backlit by the light of the afterlife. And so all we can see is their shadow. For me, at least, the jury is still out.
As I'm sitting here discussing it, my hands are clammy feeling. And they have been through the whole process of just reliving this.
I know, I can see you grasping your hand.
Yeah, I was scared. So I sat in a chair for a while, just trying to wrap my head around things that were going on. But I knew inevitably I'm responsible for the safety and the well-being of these guys that I'm working for. I wasn't leaving until my shift was over. 2 hours goes incredibly slow. It goes very slow when you want to go home in a hurry.
Dawn finally arrives, and with it, the end of Jim's long, terrifying night.
As soon as my shift ended and I got in my car, I was just trying to process everything that I went through. I was worried that the spirit would follow me home.
After his paranormal encounter on the night shift, Jim learns that the entity may have been the former owner of the home.
Heard stories in the past that there was one of the owners, he had passed away in that home of pneumonia.
When we look at the context behind this haunting and the history of location, it may be that all Jim was hearing was the after echo of the old man trying to breathe.
This event has most definitely changed my belief in paranormal. I believe that when you leave this world, you are part of a universe, per se, and that you are potentially always around. I have no idea what was going on in that house. And I wasn't willing to stay and find out for another shift. Didn't want to find out what it wanted to show. That was the worst experience that I ever had.
Out with the new.
Not original.
In with the old.
This is what the house was envisioned to be. Wow.
Absolutely incredible.
All new Restored. Wednesday at 9 on DIY Network and DIY Go.
From the stories you love to watch, to the things you love to do. Find what you're looking for on the networks of Discovery.
My name is RW, and I work the night shift.
"22-year-old RW returns to his old high school to work as a custodian on the graveyard shift.
I really needed this job because my wife left me and I became a single dad.
RW's former high school is a lot quieter on the night shift.
Did you hear any strange things about this school?
You know, as a student going there, when different students would talk about odd things that happened. However, though, we dismissed that because I was a complete skeptic.
But the day custodian is a believer and warns RW to be careful in the auditorium.
All right, are you messing with me?
I'm not messing with you. You okay?
I'm fine.
RW moves on and begins his shift.
At the high school, I was put on task by the other custodians to clean the auditorium. Areas that the other custodians didn't want to do, and I later found out why.
A big task ahead of him. He gets to work.
There had been a drama workshop going on during the day, and so they wanted to make sure that everything was prepped up, ready for the next day.
Not long on the job, it begins to get strange.
I began to hear footsteps that were going back and forth across the stage. I knew I was the only one there. At least I believed I was. Still being a skeptic, it didn't faze me really. Didn't pay attention to it. I dismissed it when I heard footsteps going by. I was told to prop one of the doors open so it helps to dry the floor. As I was mopping, that's when the door slammed shut. It was propped open good, but it slammed with a force. There was no way for that door to slam on its own. It scared the crap out of me. There was a thick prop that I had up in front of it. It wasn't even laying in close vicinity of where it had been. Someone had to have moved that and slammed the door shut.
He has no explanation for what is happening.
I kept trying to dismiss it.
Hello? Is there someone back there?
The curtain was moving as if someone was standing behind it. Like you could see the outline of them moving past the curtain from the other side.
Hello?
I just thought someone was behind the curtain. Honestly, I did. So I walked towards the curtain. At this point, realizing that it couldn't be a janitor, I'm getting really annoyed and scared. I'm not gonna lie. When I went up the stage left entrance, there was a stairwell there.
Hello?
I could see there was no one there behind the curtain. Maybe it was just a wind draft. You know, maybe my imagination was playing tricks on me.
Get it together, man.
That's when I heard the whistling. The air, it just suddenly changed.
Who's there?
It became static filled, like something was in there with me. I felt like something was watching me, watching my every move. At this point, I had become a believer that something was in there that I couldn't see.
RW being under a lot of stress is opening him up to a lot of factors, and those factors are supernatural.
The disturbances seem to be coming from behind the curtain.
Okay, pal. You asked for it.
Someone was behind me again, and I couldn't see them.
RW.
I hear someone call my name from center stage.
RW.
I was terrified.
The whispering of RW's name is an immediate way of saying, I'm here, don't doubt that I'm here. But I'm here, and I want you to address me. It's time now for us to communicate with each other.
Who the hell are you?
RW tries to be brave.
If you're messing with me, I've had enough. Man, it ain't funny anymore.
That's when it hit the fan.
I have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now there's Skyrizi. 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months after just 2 doses.
Skyrizi may increase your risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fevers, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or coughs, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Ask your dermatologist about Skyrizi.
This is my body of proof.
Proof I can fight moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis.
Proof I can fight psoriatic arthritis.
With Humira.
Proof of less joint pain.
And clearer skin in PSA.
Humira targets and blocks the source of inflammation that contributes to joint pain and irreversible damage.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections. Serious and sometimes fatal infections, including tuberculosis and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Humira is proven to help stop further joint damage.
Want more proof? Ask your rheumatologist about Humira citrate-free.
If you can't afford your medicine, AbbVie may be able to help.
There are memberships for all kinds of things today. But what about being a member of the family? What about being a member of the community? What about being a member of humanity? What if there was a membership that gave us the time to celebrate the things that connect all of us?
What should have been a quiet first night shift for RW as a custodian has spiraled into a terrifying evening.
Something was in there with me. That's when I heard the whistling.
The presence that RW feels has now become aggressive.
That's when at the van, the props fell. I felt like it wanted to kill me.
When the prop almost kills him, he reconsiders rumors about the haunted auditorium.
This Mr. Rainier was a teacher who had been killed back in the 70s, and a prop had fallen on him when he was there working late one night, and no one was there to help him, and he died.
It's a violent movement of an object to get something to drop to show RW, this is how I died. I also think the drama teacher is maybe being a little forceful with this message too, which is driving RW's fear. It's kind of spiraling a little out of control.
I heard him call my name again. It gives you the creeps.
The entity's targeting of RW intensifies, trapping him now in total darkness.
Not only did the center light go out, but all the lights in the auditorium went out. Now I'm in the darkness. Didn't have a flashlight, but I did have a lighter. The problem with the lighter was every time I would walk, the flame would flicker and it would go out. So I would have to re-flick it again. It was as though someone was in there with me. I needed to find the light switch.
Just as RW reaches for the light,
suddenly the center stage light appears on. And that's when I see someone standing in the direct beam of that light on center stage. I was scared. Now I've got someone I can see. I saw him standing there on the stage. In my mind, I think he was still being a drama teacher, still doing his job, trying to teach you.
Don't hurt me.
I could feel every sense in my body, every nerve ending.
What do you want?
RW.
Get out of here! Leave me alone!
I did an about face, and I ran out of that auditorium as fast as I could. I was gone.
RW bails on his first and only night shift at this haunted school.
I told them that I couldn't come back. They understood why.
Why do you think the spirit of Mr. Rainier targeted you?
I started replaying it in my mind, thinking of all the incidences that had happened. And if he had really wanted to kill me, he could have. I think he was more or less trying to show me how he died and the fear that he felt being trapped there an entire night with no help. This was my old high school. Plus, I had been a student who had been in drama.
And what happened to your skepticism?
After that, I became a believer. And I believe in the paranormal. There is something out there that we can't explain.
Deep in the mountains of Bulgaria, I'm with a team of vampire hunters, searching for evidence of a vampire that's reportedly been terrorizing local villages.
There's a strange feeling down here, isn't there?
Someone is watching us. I know it sounds like a scene right out of a horror film. This is as real as it gets.
Listen to the sound out here.
Hey, Dom.
Yeah.
Come here, quick.
Something's up here.
What's that there?
Oh my God.
There's the grave.
This is the vampire.
From a cave deep in the mountains of Bulgaria.
It's a world of the dead.
To the dungeons beneath the streets of Budapest.
Loved torturing and enjoyed seeing blood.
And the forests of Hungary.
Witches by day and vampires at night.
Exactly.
I'm on a mission to track down these terrifying creatures of our worst nightmares. Vampires. My name is Don Wildman. I've spent my life exploring the world's most dangerous and unusual places, pursuing its greatest hidden mysteries. This is my darkest quest yet. Diving into the secrets of buried worlds. As a kid, I was utterly terrified of vampires. It was the idea of a human being, this entity.
The creature come to suck your blood. But there are places in the world, ancient places, where there are many, many people who still believe that it's real, that vampires exist.
And if that's somehow true, that's horrifying. Over the last decade, nearly 100 so-called vampire burials have been unearthed in the mountains of southern Bulgaria. Could these gruesome rituals, performed centuries ago, mean that the legendary creatures of the night are more real than we ever knew? I'm heading to a medieval fortress in the Rhodope Mountains of southern Bulgaria, where new vampire tombs were discovered just a few years ago by Dr. Ivan Dukov. I've come here to meet him, along with my translator, Yana Dinova.
Dr. Dukov? Hi, I'm Don. Nice to meet you. This is beautiful.
This is
one of the most beautiful places in Bulgaria.
Yeah, that's amazing. And for several years, you excavated all this area. What did you find up here?
The most interesting part was that there were found some tombs inside the fortress.
Dr. Dukov had the bones radiocarbon dated. The results were shocking, revealing that they were buried here over 100 years after the fortress was abandoned in the 1400s. Why would they bury the dead on such a remote, hard-to-reach mountain peak in a long-abandoned fortress?
How many did you find?
They found nearly 20 tombs, and most of them were a little bit strange.
In what way?
There were some parts of the body that were removed, mutilated.
Okay.
They cut off the feet and reassembled the skeleton in a different way.
These are extreme measures to take. They were worried about what?
Well, ancient people were probably afraid that these bodies could be possessed by evil spirits that would resurrect and suck people's blood.
So this is a form of protecting these bones to prevent vampires from rising.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The stories we hear in books and movies say that vampires turn into bats, suck the blood of the innocent, turning them into vampires. But here in Bulgaria, legends say a vampire is made when an evil spirit takes possession of a corpse. It reanimates the body to hunt for blood, the source of its supernatural powers.
So the remains of those vampire burials, where are those bones now?
The bones have been moved to the monastery of Bachkovo.
So we can go see it?
Yes.
Okay.
Dr. Dukov leads us down to the burial crypt that lies under the neighboring monastery.
Wow, this is amazing. So the monastery dates from when?
From the end of 11th century.
1,000 years ago. So what are all these doors underneath of us? This is a crypt, so underneath of here are bones? Can we open one of these up?
Може ли да отворим една от тези врати?
Oh, look at that. That's crazy. I mean, I can look down in here and it goes deep, deep, deep down. I mean, there's just thousands and thousands of bones here.
It's shocking, the number of human remains in this crypt. It's a lot more than the 20 vampire burials found at the fortress.
Who are these bones from?
Most of them are bones of monks that used to live in the monastery. But some of them have been found at the fortress.
So those bones are mixed in with all the monk bones down here.
Why would the monks bury these potential vampire bones in this sacred space alongside the remains of their brothers? Did they think this holy ground would stop vampire spirits from possessing the corpses?
Do people still believe in vampires here?
Here in Bulgaria, this is a strong belief.
Although extremely secretive, there are people here who not only believe in vampires, they track them. They're called Sabotnichi, real-life vampire hunters. And I'm joining a team of them on the hunt for a vampire who's reportedly been terrorizing a nearby village. This is the first time they've allowed a film crew to document this secret operation.
They didn't give me the name of the village or the town, just the coordinates of a place deep in the Rhodope Mountains, because the spot where they're conducting the hunt isn't on any map. What if this is true? I mean, what if we find one?
As I get closer to the GPS coordinates, it becomes very clear why this town isn't on a map.
Wow, look at this place. I was told to look for an abandoned farmhouse. I mean, it doesn't get any spookier than this.
Crumbling buildings, left forgotten and decaying. seem like the perfect hiding spot for a blood-sucking monster.
I've heard there are a lot of abandoned towns all throughout these hills. And you gotta wonder if the problem is vampires. Oh, here's the guys right here.
This is the Sabonichi, a group of vampire hunters led by Simo Petkov. This man has been tracking vampires most of his life and was trained by his grandfather.
So the word Sabonitsi actually means what?
Sabotnitsi means a child born in Saturday.
Okay.
Because Saturday is the day of the dead. People born in Saturday feel the powers of vampires, of the spirits.
Every week, Saturday is the day of the dead?
Yes, of course. Of course.
Why are we meeting here? Why this spot?
Locals here in the nearby villages complained that farm animals have been missing each night, and they have found the bodies of the animals around here, around the valleys and the mountain, with some strange wounds, which are not from a hunter or from a wild animal.
Oh, so this happened recently?
Yeah.
Okay.
According to the Sabonichi, when a vampire can't feed on human blood, they can survive temporarily on the blood of livestock. So these animal attacks point to vampire activity.
So you guys get called about something like this by some of the local villagers in the hope that you can help them rid this place of whatever evil thing is lurking here.
Yes, Simon called us.
So how do we proceed? What's the method here?
We search for evidence, so we go feel the energies in the houses. We're looking for some bones or some dead animals also, yeah.
According to Simo, vampires leave behind both physical clues and residual dark energy that the Sabonichi can detect, helping them track them down. If we find a vampire, we'll kill it with the most effective vampire killing weapon there is, a wooden stake through its heart. Then we'll rid the area of evil energy that it leaves behind.
Is there something I need to do to protect myself? Should I be concerned? I mean, if we see or feel anything, what do I need to do?
Before we start, Robbie will perform a ritual for protection of bad energies and dark energies.
Thank you. All right, I'll take your lead. Let's get started.
Going toe-to-toe with vampires requires some powerful magic. These candles have been blessed, so they should protect us from any evil spirits. The candles will also bless this container of water, an extra weapon we can use to repel a vampire, should we find one.
So out of the circle.
We're officially protected. Good, okay.
Okay, let's go.
Roberto's doing here, he's feeling the house. Roberto, what do you feel?
Усещал някакви лоши енергии, както ние преди малко усетихме.
He started to feel all these bad energies which inhabit the place.
Well, you've made me very nervous about all this stuff. Are you feeling anything else?
I sense a really bad influence, and I feel we are not welcome here.
Simo, are you seeing anything around here?
I was about to check this room.
Oh, I got a creepy feeling from that room, man. That's weird. The ceiling's about to cave in on us.
There's some blood stains here.
Място за по-скоро за забавление или по-скоро като място за...
Right now we feel some bad energies.
Правил този един от двамата братя. Тоест някакви лоши неща.
You received goosebumps?
Yeah, I just had like weird feelings, but who knows?
Но тук в тази стая никой не е спал, тази стая не е...
What was that?
Oh.
Yeah, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here.
Let's go. Това се става. Бързо.
Yeah, I think we're good here. Why do we offer so many active safety features on our Chevy SUVs? Oh, yeah.
All set. Ready, Freddie?
Because we're not just engineers.
Promise when you get there, okay? Slowly. I'm going slow.
We have families too.
Get 15% of MSRP cash back on most 2020 Equinox models. That's over $5,700 cash back on this Equinox. Plus, current competitive owners get an additional $750 cash allowance. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
This
year, the world's largest RV show is online. Camping World presents the Ultimate RV Show. 5 days packed with all things RV and camping. Be the first to see the newest RVs on the market. Take advantage of exclusive RV show pricing on hundreds of items. Plus, we'll have sweet giveaways every day of the show. Whether you're an RV pro or just getting started, we'll have something for everyone at the Ultimate RV Show. Join us at ultimatervshow.com. Streaming live now through Sunday.
I'm in an abandoned village in the mountains of Bulgaria with a team of vampire hunters called the Sabanichi.
I was about to check this room.
Responding to local reports of missing and slaughtered livestock, we're looking for any physical evidence or powerful dark energy that could help us locate the creature responsible.
Но тук в тази стая никой не е спал. Тази...
What was that?
Yeah, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here.
Let's go.
Look out.
I don't know what it was, but it was almost like a swarm of hornets flying by. Something sent a chill down my spine, and I had to get out.
Well, that's a bad sign for sure.
Yes, and we're not welcome here.
Yeah. While we didn't find any physical evidence that a vampire is still in the house, the dark energy we felt and what we heard suggested to the team that a vampire was likely here at some point. So we have to keep exploring, check out the other houses, and see if we can track them down.
This is the second structure just above the last.
Yeah, we go inside.
Oh, great. Simo, are you seeing anything around here?
I don't see anything as evidence of vampires.
All right, let's go to the next house. You seeing anything, Simo?
It's dangerous here, man.
I'm careful, this whole can come down.
Yeah.
Сега ще проверя за демони.
I'm gonna check for demons right now.
Because the dark forces are usually in the attic.
I thought I'd be braver about this, but it's kind of creeping me out. I don't know if I'm psyched out by them or I really feel the same energies they're feeling, but there is a palpable sense of malevolence and darkness in this place.
Тази къща била обладана от тъмни сили.
So right here, the smoke out of the candle gets darker, which means that right here is really strong bad energy.
So when you're feeling these demons, is that possibly vampires? Is that the sense of...
Yeah, because vampire and ghost is the same bad energy.
Vampires are essentially evil spirits living inside of human remains. Roberto is able to sense the dark energy they leave behind, which tells us that a vampire was recently here. We must be getting closer.
There's a strange feeling down here, isn't there?
Yeah, you can feel it.
Yeah?
You can feel it that something is watching you.
Roberto, what do you feel in this area?
Very strong energy, vampire energy and more.
Okay.
From all the places that we checked, here is the strongest.
Let's go in.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh man, look at this.
That is an animal bone.
There's bones everywhere.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
This is a vampire stuff, man.
Does this bone mean something's been down here feeding, perhaps?
Yeah.
These livestock bones may be connected to local reports about disappearing cattle and animal remains dotted across the countryside.
There was definitely a vampire energy in this house.
Right.
And not only vampire energy, but black magic as well.
Okay.
According to Simo, a vampire feeding ground is a source of dark energy. It attracts other vampires and curses all who come in contact with it. To protect local residents and ourselves, and to keep vampires from returning here, we need to clear that energy.
There should be made a ritual for clearing all the bad energies down in the ground where it should be.
Okay.
We use water and red wine. The wine is a symbol of blood and the power of light, which removes everything which is bad.
Okay.
This is called the Singing Candle Ceremony. As the light of these blessed candles lures the dark vampire energies, we should be able to hear them being sent back to the underworld through the singing flames.
Just listen to candles.
Did you hear the singing?
Oh, yes.
Every sound is the demonic or even vampire energies, which goes out through the light of the candles, and we clear the house.
Really?
Really?
While we've successfully cleansed this house, we still haven't found a physical vampire. To ensure they've done everything possible to protect the local villagers, the team will have to finish searching the area before our hunt is complete.
We have to be really careful. Someone is watching us.
Oh, man. You heard something?
Yeah.
Listen to the sound out here.
Hey, Don.
Yeah.
Come here, quick.
Something's up here.
What's that there?
Oh my God.
This is the vampire.
Heroes aren't born. Heroes are just those who step up when it's needed most. Train to be a healthcare hero at Carrington College. The U.S. is facing a shortage of qualified healthcare professionals, so join the fight and train hands-on for an essential career. You can learn from experienced instructors who have worked in the field. Classes are enrolling now. Online program options also are available. Be a healthcare hero. You're made for this. Visit carrington.edu to learn more.
Everybody has a place to go. Everybody wants a place to be. When birds fly, they're swimming in the sky, while fish are swimming in the sea.
Hey, Don.
Yeah.
There is a very, very strong energy.
I'm following a trail of bloodstains, animal bones, and dark energy with a team of vampire hunters in southern Bulgaria.
Something's up here.
What's that there?
Oh my God.
We've just discovered an unmarked grave in the middle of nowhere.
This man is buried here outside of the graveyard. So it is possible that he turned into a vampire.
Since medieval times, it's believed that vampire spirits seek out unmarked graves, like this one here, located outside of a churchyard. Left unprotected by holy ground, these corpses are the most vulnerable to possession.
So they have to put it on the grave?
If they're right, and a vampire spirit has taken control of the corpse in this grave, the team needs to perform a traditional Bulgarian burial ceremony. The white fabric represents the Holy Spirit. The flames and smoke should draw the evil spirit out and cast it back to hell.
This is done to calm the vampire energy and to lead him to light. The fact that it burns from all the ends means that the ritual is done.
Mm-hmm. May he rest in peace and not be a vampire among us.
Tonight, we went searching for vampires. And honestly, I didn't know if we'd find one or not. But here's the thing that's undeniable. These guys, you can tell when something is truthful about a person. And these guys actually believe that a spirit exists in this place. So I have to believe that something is there.
That there is an actual vampire. That may indeed be the reason this whole village became cursed and thus abandoned. And tonight, we have cast it out. We have sent it away.